The power of saying less. A story for beyond reward. There was a man named Daniel. From the outside, he looked successful. A good job, a nice apartment, a growing network. But every day felt like a competition he never signed up for. In meeting, he spoke first. Or at parties, he talked the most online. He shared every achievement, every opinion, every plan. He believed visibility was power. He thought the more he explained himself, the more respect he would earn. But something strange kept happening. The loudest person in the room was rarely the most respected. The person talking constantly was not the one people listened to, and despite all his effort, Daniel felt invisible. One evening, after another exhausting day of trying to prove himself, he met an old mentor. The mentor listened quietly as Daniel spoke for early an hour. When he finally finished, the old man smiled and asked a simple question. Have you ever noticed that diamonds are kept in value, but gravel is secreted everywhere? Daniel was confused. The mentor continued, but is valuable does not need to announce itself. Those words stayed with him. For the first time in a year, Daniel decided to experiment. The next week, he spoke less, not because he was shy, not because he had nothing to say, but because he wanted his words to matter. In meeting, he listened when others interpreted each other. He remained calm when everyone rushed to give opinion. He observed, and when he finally spoke, people paid attention. His words carried weight, not because they were louder, because they were rare. He noticed something else. Silence revealed things. People export their attentions. They revealed their fears, their insecurities, their true character. The more Daniel listened, the more he understood. And understanding is a form of power. Most people believe influence comes from speaking, but influence often comes from observing. The strongest person in the room is rarely the one demanding attention. It is the one who does not need it. Think about the ocean. It does not shout. It does not convince anyone of its strength. Yet it can shape continent. True power works the same way. It is quite controlled, deliberate. The world today rewards noise. Social media rewards instant reaction. Argument reward quick response. Everyone wants to be heard. Very few want to understand. That's why saying less has become a superpower. When you stop explaining every decision, you protect your energy. When you stop responding to every criticism, you protect your peace. When you stop reviewing every plan, you protect your focus. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts. Not everyone deserves a front row scared to your dream. Sometimes the greatest move is silence. Because silence creates mystery, silence creates discipline, and silence forces people to pay attention. Years later, Daniel's life looked very different. He became more successful than he had ever imagined. But the biggest change was not his income, it was not his status, it was his presence. He no longer felt the need to prove anything. He understood a truth that most people spend their entire lives chasing. Confidence is not speaking louder. Wisdom is not speaking more powerful, is knowing when words and necessary and when silence is stronger. So the next time you are tempted to explain yourself to people who have already decided not to understand, the next time you are tempted to reveal every goal before you have achieved it, the next time you are tempted to react instantly, pause for a moment. Remember this: not every thought needs to be spoken, not every battle needs to be fought, not every achievement needs to be announced. Because sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is saying less beyond revive. The less you speak to impress others, the more your actions speak for you. And thank you.